Hey, what's up, BoLS fans? JR here, and today we are taking a look at the new Codex Supplement for the Ultramarines. This is a book that expands the information in Codex Space Marines out to specifically being geared for the Ultramarines. We also have a look at the new Ultramarine data cards, which I'm going to go ahead and pop open real quick, because if you've seen any of the different factions data cards, you kind of know what you're getting into. You have your tactical objectives, and you get your standard generic tactical objectives. You also get your Ultramarine tactical objectives, which you can kind of see differentiated with the Ultramarines Omega, or if you are across the pond, Omega symbol. There are a lot of tactical objectives here, but then you can also, as you see, you also get some Space Marine stratagems, you get Ultramarine specific stratagems. These are all from the codexes. These are just kind of there to help you remember what you've got on hand, when you use them, how to keep track of everything. Same with the new psychic powers from the new Indominus Discipline, and then of course you get Smite. That is the data cards. Let's get to the real meat of this video, which is the new Codex Supplement for Ultramarines. As I said, this kind of skews the information that you get in the new Codex Space Marines and makes it Ultramarine specific. You can see it's basically a mini codex. You'll get an 80 pages of stuff here, starting with your intro, then your 40 or so, 47 odd pages of lore. You'll get your art, then you'll have the new, under Defenders of Macragge, you'll get the stats for all the Ultramarine specific units, and then you'll get to see all their warlord traits and all that stuff. If you've seen a codex, that's basically what this is. It's a codex supplement. And as you might expect from a codex, you get your lore, your intro to the faction, your timeline, a map of the Ultramarine, or I guess the Ultramar system subsector. Particularly, you can see Macragge, Thalassa, Masali, and Viridia, and you can see where Chaos is making an incursion, where they've put up defenses, how things are connected, stable routes through the warp, and all that stuff. You get a look at how the chapters are organized, which is something that everyone should know by now, because these are the Ultramarines, they're the poster boys. But if you don't, you can read about the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th companies, 9th and 10th even. You also get a look at the chapter command. All the different units have their own stuff. There's some color schemes for the different successor chapters, including a couple of new ones that I haven't seen before. I like the look of the Sons of Guilliman, and the Dark Sons is particularly interesting. It looks very familiar. Or, of course, the Doom Legion. Then you have even more stuff on the sort of the history and the timeline of the Ultramarines. This is setting you up for some of the greatest hits, including the Rise of the Primarch at the end of 7th edition, and then we talk about the Era Indomitus, which is now. You'll see a lot of stuff about Vigilus, and all the latest news from there is kind of where it goes up to. And then we talk about how Ultramar has been hit by plagues, as Nurgle has set his sights on Ultramar. Then you get a lore on each of the units that's in the that's here, including the new Chief Librarian Tigurius, who is hanging out, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, now that he has crossed the Rubicon Primaris and has become a Primaris librarian. You also get Captain Sicarius, Sergeant Telion, Sergeant Cronus, all the war veterans, all the familiar Ultramarine faces are here. I don't think there's anything, except for Tigurius being Primaris, I don't think there's anything shockingly, devastatingly new here. But as you can see, we'll get through the stats, and these are just the Ultramarines units, so you'll only find like Ultramarines characters, which are Guilliman, Calgar, the Victrix Honor Guard, Tigurius, Chaplain Cassius, Captain Sicarius, Sergeant Tilion, Sergeant Cronus, then your Chapter Ancient, Chapter Champion, Honor Guard, and Tyrannic War Veterans, and that's it. So real quick, let's go back over to take a look at what Tigurius' big thing is. He has Angels of Death, he has the Hood of Hellfire, which is basically a psychic hood. It adds 1 to your Deny the Witch tests, and he is a Master of Prescience. At the start of your battle round, select one friendly Ultramarines unit within 6 inches. Until the end of that battle round, when resolving an attack against that unit, you subtract 1 to hit, so you can kind of help protect your guys as they're kind of nearby him. You also get a look at the new abilities and warlord traits of the Ultramarines. If you are making them specifically Ultramarines, this is all the cool stuff that you can get into. You also get the Scions of Guilliman, which is an ability that triggers, but only, and it's important to note, only when the Tactical Doctrine is active. That's when you can kind of make your attacks as though you'd moved, as though you'd been stationary and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. It lets you kind of get a little more out of your weapons. You also get 6 specific Ultramarines warlord traits. Adept of the Codex is probably one of the stronger ones, but there's a lot of fun stuff. They're all very characterful. You also get the Relics of Macragge, which include the Soldier's Blade, the Standard of Macragge in Violet, the Sanctic Halo, the Vengeance of Ultramar, the Helm of Censure, the Armor of Conor, and the Terentian Cloak. These are all cool abilities. You also have some special issue war gear. These are pieces of gear that you can... These are also different kinds of relics that you can give to your characters as well. These are adamantine mantles, artificer armor, the mastercrafted weapon, Hail Fury bolt, Seal of Oath, Reliquary of Vengeance, digital weapons, Sunwrath pistol, all that good stuff. Then we have the Ultramarine specific stratagems. You'll also have access to all the normal stratagems in the Codex Space Marines, but these are special things like Avenge the Fallen, Vengeance for Kalth, or Fall Back and Re-engage, which lets you fall back, shoot, and charge, and without penalties. So you could just like fall back, lay in a bunch of fire with your bolters, which are amazing now, and then charge back in. You also have the new Indominus Discipline, which works like other psychic disciplines, except instead of building a librarian with powers from the Librarius or Obscuration disciplines, you can take powers from the Indominus Discipline instead, which means that you can do things like Empiric Channeling, which basically lets you pick someone within 12 inches. It's got to be an Ultramarine Librarian, and whenever he's doing his psychic test, he gets to add 2 to the total and doesn't suffer Perils of the Warp on doubles. So basically you can boost someone to make sure you get off your really hard to cast powers, because this one goes off on a 5, so it's pretty easy. Or you could call down the Storm of the Emperor's Wrath and deal a whole bunch of mortal wounds to units that are nearby you. Or you could rely on precognition. And then, of course, you've got tactical objectives, and then you've got your points, or not your points, but your name generator, because your points are elsewhere. So, that is the Ultramarines Codex Supplement. We've also taken a look at the Ultramarines data cards, which feature the Ultramarine regalia in all their glory. I'm JR. This has been the Bell of Lost Souls. Thank you all for watching.
Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.